What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. And we are doing our very first recap of Survivor here on the channel. Season 43, episode 1, the premiere episode, 2 hours long. And it wasn't your typical Survivor 2-hour episode where it's just kind of 2 episodes mashed into one. This was just one long episode with a lot to go over. Let's just jump right into it. First off, we met all of our new castaways for the season, and they were broken into 3 tribes. We had the yellow Baka tribe, the red Vessi tribe, and the blue Coco tribe. And then we get right into our first reward challenge, where one tribe would be able to earn their supplies for the season: a pot, machete, and a piece of flint. That was it. Not a lot of supplies for them. Very similar to the past few seasons, it being that shorter season, kind of the accelerated time frame that they've been doing for the past 2 seasons, which it's interesting. I kind of like it. It makes it a little bit more of a challenge to give them less supplies, especially early on. And we jump right into this challenge, which is your typical 3-part Survivor challenge. There was a run where they had to go get 2 of their pieces for the later puzzle. And then there was a water element where they had to go out and swim, grab their pieces, bring them back to the beach. And then finally they had to put all these blocks together into one large box. They would then have to climb on and get their piece of flint off of a large pole using another pole. And early on, Coco fell very far behind, mainly due to Geo not being able to carry his piece of the puzzle back with him. He found it a little bit too heavy for him, so he was just kind of rolling it along on the beach. Vessi and Baka kind of broke out. Baka especially broke out into an early lead, being able to get out into the water first. But Vessi was able to come back, and I was really impressed with Noelle. Noelle, the castaway, who is missing a leg. She lost her leg and has come out to Survivor with what some might see as a disadvantage, but because of her efforts, it seemed like Vessi was able to get to a lead going into the final stage of this challenge. But actually, it was Coco who made a bit of a comeback due to the efforts of James really doing well with that kind of box puzzle. But in the end, it ended up being Vessi who was able to pull off the win due to a very smart move by Cody, suggesting that they take the pole and put the piece of flint in the pole's hole. Yeah, they put it in the hole to get it off of there much easier and make it more secure as they were sliding it off. And Vessi was able to pull off the win, earning the pot, machete, and flint. They didn't have to do the challenges back at the beach. Following that, Jeff didn't really have anything else for them, so he sent them off to their individual beaches to start building their shelter, and for Baka and Coco to try and earn their supplies. And it was very similar to the twist that we've had in previous seasons where they had to kind of choose between 2 different tasks. One was more of the savvy route, one was the sweat route. In the savvy route, they had a kind of a stick puzzle. These were made out of bones, but I'm definitely more familiar with like toothpicks and stuff like that in doing these puzzles. And the basic idea was there was a large number and they had to move 2 of those pieces to make the largest number possible. And with these type of puzzles, it's usually where you have to kind of think outside the box. Most people's first attempts were, well, if we move this one over here, we can make the 5 in the beginning a 6 or a 9, so that'll get us kind of further. And it was Sammy, the youngest of the castaways on this season, at only 19 years old, though he's telling everybody he's 22. I don't know, not that much better than being just 19, but he thinks it's going to help him later down the line. And he was the the one who actually was the first one to kind of think outside the box and be like, all right, I'm going to blow your guys' minds here. If we take these two off of the 0, that leaves you with 2 1s, which then you can add those 2 bones to make another one in the line. He got a little bit of assist from Janine because he was attempting to do it on the last 0, but Janine said, well, if we do it on the first 0, that makes the 1s in the front, so it's a larger number, and they were able to beat that and earn their pot, machete, and flint. Meanwhile, on Coco, Gio really wanted to make up for his failure in the challenge earlier, so he volunteered to do the sweat along with Ryan, and Ryan really came out this with a good strategy, saying, listen, we've got this square that we got to dig through. This is what we got to do. We got to find this in here. Best way to do it, kind of do like a grid pattern, or in this case, an X pattern. So there's 4 quadrants. We'll start in one, then we'll move to the next, and that will be the most efficient way to find it. And they crushed it. They were able to find their supplies buried in that sand very quickly, with only, they said, about a half hour into their 2-hour time limit that they had to finish these to earn their machete, pot, and their flint. And yeah, it was not bad. I kind of like that. It seems like it's definitely continuing with the themes of last season, where it's like very minimal supplies and you have to earn everything in this game. So I kind of liked it. Wasn't too bad. Now, after that, we kind of move into more of the strategy talk. Over on Vessi, there seems to be a little bit of an alliance forming early with Nika, Cody, and Jesse, but also Noelle and Justine. They're really seeming to vibe very well as well. So we'll see how that kind of develops going forward in the season, whether they actually do stick together or not. That remains to be seen. Over on the Coco tribe, it seemed like a lot of Jesse and Lindsay were kind of sticking together really well. Carla was kind of finding herself in the middle of the guys and the girls, because James, Ryan, and Gio were kind of vibing really well too. Not 100% sure how that tribe's all going to break down just yet, who's going to really align with who, but it's going to be interesting to see how this all develops. And then over on Baka, we had a few things going on. First off was Gabler. He was going around pretty much telling everybody, like, listen, if I hear your name, I'll let you know. Hey, if I hear your name, I'll let you know. And hey, listen, if I hear your name, I'll let you know. So that's not going to be the last time that I was a little bit amused by some of Gabler's moves in this game. And after that, we go right into the next twist of the season, very much similar to ones we've had in the last few seasons, where you had to risk your vote for a potential advantage in the game. A boat showed up to each of the tribes, and they had to send one representative to go and make this decision. From each tribe, we had Gabler for Baka, we had Carla from Coco, and then from Vessi, it was Dwight. Those were the 3 who went for this. And the way they did it, I kind of like this as well. It was, again, very similar to, the will you risk your vote or will you not? But on a lot of those, it was like, well, if we both risk our vote, or if one of us risks our vote, we get the advantage, and if the other doesn't, we don't. But if we both risk, we both lose our vote. This one was more of, listen, you can risk your vote, and if you do, you have a shot at getting the advantage. Or you can just say, nah, I don't want no part of this, and you keep your vote and everything's fine. It ended up being that Carla did not risk her vote, but Gabler and Dwight both did risk their vote, meaning they both had a 50-50 shot at the immunity. They would get a little idol to take back to their beach, and they would have to unveil it there. All 3 of them were very honest with the situation once they got back to their tribes, not really wanting to hide any of the information. Dwight came right out and said, he's like, listen, I risked my vote. I don't know if I have anything yet. I'm going to go see if I do or not, and I'll come back and let you guys know. Same thing with Gabler. He's like, listen, I risked it. Don't know if I have it, but we'll find out. Both of them opened it, and it turned out that Gabler I don't know. He ended up getting the idol, whereas Dwight lost his vote. So that's going to be interesting to see how this goes. It's also just a 2 tribal immunity idol, so it's only good for the first 2 tribal councils. After that, it doesn't have any power. And speaking of immunity, that gets us into the immunity challenge. It was a nice, messy immunity challenge. They all had to climb underneath kind of a bamboo structure, and they got all muddy. Then they had to jump into a pile of wood chips to kind of find the balls they would need for the third part of the challenge, which was one of those tilt puzzles where you had to kind of guide your ball to the end of it and land it into a bunch of holes. There was a nice little twist with this as well. There were 3 different puzzles that you could choose from, and depending on how you finished the first 2 parts of the challenge, the one who got there first would get the first choice at which puzzle they wanted to do. Coco was actually the one to finish first, and they chose more of the maze style puzzle. After them, it was Vessi who chose one that was more of a straightforward line with the ball going right towards the holes. And then Baka got the last choice, which was, again, kind of one of those maze ones, but with drop-offs on either side. And it was kind of interesting little twist. I like that, where, you know, just because you're in the front, you have to make a decision, and if you make the wrong decision, it could hurt you. But in the end, it seemed like everybody made the right decisions. Coco was able to pull off the victory. Vessi was the second place tribe, meaning that Baka would have to go to tribal council tonight and vote somebody off. Gabler felt like he really was the one to let the tribe down. Him and Sammy were the ones on the tilt puzzle trying to get the balls into the holes at the end. And Gabler felt like he was the one who really kind of let them down. So when he got back to the beach with the rest of the tribe, he said, listen, everybody, like, I know this one's on me, and I don't want to kind of hide behind my idol that I have. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the shot in the dark. I'm going to drop that die. Maybe I will have a shot at getting immunity anyway. If I don't, I then lose my vote. And you guys can vote me out if that's what you think is best. And it was like, what are you doing? You won, you're safe. You weren't going to get voted out. And 2, you're just risking your game for no reason. Why would you do this? It didn't make any sense for him to do this. But that was his plan. Everybody quickly was like, oh, no, like, we're not voting you out. Like, and plus, we kind of need your vote. Like, there might be a chance where your vote really counts. So don't risk your vote here. And there were 2 plans that really formed. Mariah wanted to vote out Owen and kind of keep the girls tight and strong. They also thought they had Sammy in on that. And it was kind of, you know, well, if we can't vote out Gabler because he's got an immunity idol and maybe he's taking the shot in the dark, Owen's the other one. We get to take out Owen. Meanwhile, Ellie was not on board with this. She wanted to keep the tribe strong going forward into those immunity challenges. And when we got the tribal council, it was, what is going to happen? Will Ellie stick with the girls and kind of keep their numbers strong? Or will they just keep this tribe strong as a whole? And when it came down to it, Mariah was voted out. She was the sole vote to evict Owen. Everybody else voted her out of the tribe. So she was the first castaway to be voted out this season. It's got to be somebody. But overall, I thought this was a really good episode. I enjoyed this one a lot. And again, it wasn't that your typical Survivor 2-hour episode where it's 2 tribal councils and 2 immunity challenges. It was just one long adventure, and I really liked it. And one thing you gotta love about Survivor 2 is the quality of the production and the visuals. There were some really great shots in the different challenges with drones flying through, and just the amazing visuals of the show. I really enjoyed it a lot. As far as who I think I'm liking so far, what players I think really have what it takes to do really well going forward. We could start with Baka. Sammy, he really impressed me a lot with a lot of the things he was doing. He seems like he's really smart, and he's got some physical abilities that could really help him further in some of those more physical challenges. Will he become a target later on? That's going to be interesting. Ellie, she really kind of seemed like kind of the mastermind behind making sure that Mariah goes. But again, that could have just been the edit. We'll see how that kind of moves forward as well. Over on Vessi, Cody was interesting. Cody was kind of a character. He's got his whole motto of Livin, Livin. He's got even the tattoo on his butt. So he's a bit of an interesting character. I don't know how well he's gonna do. But somebody else who really kind of impressed me was Noelle. I thought she really showed that, hey, just because I have what some people see as a disadvantage, she is able to compete with everybody else just as strongly. So I'm interested to see how things develop with her. And then over on Coco, there were a few different people I kind of like. James, he seems like he's really smart. He also talked to earlier in his introduction that he's all about chaos and he thrives in it, which really speaks to me. I'm a big fan of chaos. I truly believe chaos is a ladder and you should climb it. And then Carla, I thought, she seemed like she has a good idea of what she needs to do to get forward in the game and kind of make some relationships. Will she be able to win competitions when she needs to later? That's kind of a question. I don't know how she's going to do even in the puzzles because we didn't really see her do any of those just yet. And then Ryan also impressed me a lot as well with his ability with figuring out, the best way to dig things up, but also he seems like he's got the strength and ability to help him in the challenges later on down the line as well. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Who are some of your favorites so far? Who do you think has the ability to go the distance in this game? I want to hear all your thoughts on the episode in those comment section right down below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, smash that like button, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, you never miss a stream. There may be a lot of new people here since this is the first time I'm covering Survivor here on the channel. We've been covering Big Brothers season 24 for this entire season that's finishing up this week. We have a live eviction tonight, which I'll be live here doing a watch along right here on the channel. So if you're into Big Brother, stick around for that for later tonight as we see the final four become the final three as we get ready for the finale on Sunday, which we will also be live right here on the channel doing a watch along for that as well. We also will tomorrow have a recap for The Amazing Race because we're expanding the channel into more content and more things. There's a few other shows that are going to be coming out soon that I'm going to do recaps on as well, including The Challenge and also a revival of a show that I was a huge fan of back in the day, The Mole. Yes, The Mole is being revived on Netflix, so that's going to be a lot of fun to get into as well, and both of those are coming out within the first week or so of October. So again, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button for all this new content and all this new things that we're going to be bringing to the channel. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.